Hey everyone, it's Nick Gio, and this is the first face cam video in a while. I've got my trusty sweatshirt that I've loved. I wore it sometimes when I was making videos last summer or in the fall. You can see it's gone through sometimes because the string came out, and I don't really know how to put back a string for a hoodie. Well, it happens. It's not like I was really tightening it or anything, but this is in about a week, a little over a week, it'll be March, and this video is about why March might be the most important month in my life so far. And there are a couple of reasons for this. The first one occurs on March 11th, which is 3 days before my birthday. I'm on March 14th, and I'm not even going to be really talking about my birthday as part of why it's important, because that happens every year. But March 11th is when I submit the EdTPA. The EdTPA, I think I said before, maybe. Yeah, I said it in the 4 week student teaching video 2 videos ago that it's the student teaching project. It's national. I think about 40 of the 50 states use it, and it determines if I become licensed as a high school teacher or not. And I mean, it's not too hard to pass. You just need kind of like a 60% or higher. You just need to pass it. But still, it's something that I've been working really hard on. I finished task one just about a week or two ago, and took a lot of edits and a lot of just additional things, and then this past week and a half I have done the 5 lessons with the students. Some of it has been delayed due to circumstances, but I finished it, and I got some good video clips using the iPad that all the student teachers were given at the start of the semester. And it's something where I feel good. I actually did a rough draft, about like 8 or 10 double-spaced pages today while I was at the library, because I've been going to the library most days after school. So it's been a grind, and I made a rough draft today, and I'll print it later today, and I'll just when I make edits on something, I like to print it out and then just use my pen to make the edits. So I'll be doing that tomorrow, and also I have to plan a lesson because my graduate school advisor is observing me on Tuesday, so I have to make a plan for one of my classes for that. And technically, in terms of receiving the score on this, it'll be April 2nd, so it's not within March, but I still think, okay, turning it in, it's really important. Kind of a technicality. Another thing, see, I have my notes in the composition notebook I've been using during this student teaching. I haven't even gone halfway through it, so I'll still be able to use it for other things. So another thing that's going to happen is I've kind of already started this process, but applying to a bunch of school districts, because I've been able to apply even though there haven't been biology teacher openings, because online you can apply through this website called AppliTrack. That's what I think all the school districts I've looked up where I thought, okay, I could live here, I could work here. They've all been on AppliTrack, so it's been easy, sometimes just importing data from one to the another. But the openings for the teacher positions, they usually open up about middle of March, maybe spring break. And I went to a job fair. It was kind of just more of like an informational meeting for one of the school districts was holding it. And the person there talking, he was an assistant principal to this one local high school, and he said that he'll send out interview requests in March, and then you'll do the interviews after spring break, usually beginning of April. So doing well on the applications for the jobs determines a lot in my life. I mean, that's why it's partially why March is important, because how I do on them determines the interviews I receive, the number of interviews, where I get interviews, and the interviews determine where I might get accepted as a teacher. And where I get accepted and where I accept to work, that determines where I live. That determines my future friends, possibly my future partner, because if I live in one town, I might meet someone, and if I live in another town, I might meet someone else, right? I mean, I'm not completely sure if I'll meet anyone, but that determines that, and it's something that it's important because I've been living in this town, in my hometown, for the last 3.5 years, and it's something where it's going to be a big change. Probably sometime around the holidays this year, I'll move out, maybe like beginning of January. So it's a big step, and it sets the stage for the rest of my life. Maybe I end up living in that town for decades. Um, but overall, it's kind of like the second act in my adulthood life. First act, it's been kind of just living either here in the hometown, or I was in Wisconsin for 6 months, but this is setting the stage for the next one. Couple other ones, finishing up student teaching, that'll be March 20th, which is a Friday. That'll be the last day that I'll be student teaching, and that's important because it helps shape the kind of teacher I am in terms of my skills and my style, and that determines in terms of how fast I get to like tenure. So it kind of determines the money aspect. It determines how I'm going to be teaching in the future. So it's important. I have 4 weeks left, and I remember the video I made 2 videos ago about student teaching. That was 4 weeks in, and now it's 4 weeks left. And between that, it's been 3 weeks. Total of 11 weeks. And yeah, it kind of determines, okay, who am I going to be as a teacher? And then finally, another one, just in terms of personal experiences, personal interests. I'm either in March or April. I'm just going to say March for now, just for the theme. But it's deciding on what I want to do with US chess in terms of, do I want to register again for a year membership? There are positives and negatives on both sides, and it's something where I'll have to just sit down and think, okay, let's write out all of the pros and cons of doing chess again. And then on top of that, if that doesn't work out, then it's deciding, okay, do I want to go back to Chess, chess.com, stuff like that. For sure, I'm going to be going back to helping my local Chicago League team, just because I haven't been able to help them these 2 months, but I know that there will be some matches in April, maybe late March, and then the playoffs in mid-May, so I'll definitely be doing that. But then that goes back to where I'm going to move, because if I move kind of far away, then I'll have to probably switch Chicago League teams, because there are teams up in the northern suburbs, downtown, and then the western suburbs, which I'm at right now. So that gets determined there. So yeah, in terms of chess, just figuring out, okay, it's seeing if I want to put that chunk of my life to chess or to something else. So that's about it. I'm trying to keep this on the short side because it's a regular video and I don't want it to take too long to upload. But yeah, I figure it's a Saturday, and I think making a video once a week has been a good pace for me, especially since weekends I'm much freer, because I'll work for 4 or 5 hours on Saturday and Sunday at the library, but then the rest of the day is kind of free. So I definitely enjoy these weekends, because with weekdays it's leaving the house at 6:30 in the morning, and then because of the library after school for a couple of hours, I try to do like 3 hours after school on top of the stuff I'm doing in between classes during the school day, and I'll get home maybe at like 7:45. So it's like about 13 hours outside of the house. So Yeah, I'll most likely see everyone next weekend. It's gonna be a fun Saturday. It's gonna be a leap day Saturday. So, all right, I will see everyone. Have a good rest of your weekend, everyone. Bye.